And now, it's the Still Unnamed Podcast with your host, Petey Salas.
Hey kids, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Still Unnamed Podcast with Petey Salas. That is me. It's Tuesday once again, and today we jump right back into this three-way dance that we had started last week with Edna and Elisa, collectively known as the E-Unit. This is part 2 of our conversation. In this conversation, we get into, just a couple of different topics like sharing birthdays. Like when your parents try to group a couple kids together for a birthday, or for people who have birthdays kind of close to Christmas and they kind of get screwed out of presents. We also get into how spoiled our kids are, by our own admission. We always want to outdo what our parents did. It's always how can I be a better parent than my parent was? Even if your parents were great, mine were great. They had their problems, they had their issues, but all in all, I was a pretty happy kid. But for some reason, I still have it inside me that I want to go above and beyond for my son, for Quentin. I want to do more. I want to give more. I just want to be better, which, it's kind of a hard task to fulfill, especially if you come from a good upbringing with some good parents like I did. We talk about a whole bunch of other things how our kids kind of tend to inherit our personalities and make them better. We talk about Selena, the Tejano queen, who was murdered quite a few years ago, mid-90s actually, is when she was taken out by her assistant. Just a whole bunch of random talk, as usual, as you've come to expect here at the Still Unnamed Podcast. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to jump right in. This is part 2 of my talk with my lovely, wild, and crazy girls, Edna and Elisa, so let's get to them right here.
So what are y'all doing for your kids' birthdays? Everyone goes...
I'm just going to have a dinner for him, that's it, that day. It's nothing too big, because I kind of spent all his birthday was the trip
WWE,
to I took him to Raw 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I told him, you're shit out of luck, bro. I'm gonna buy you a pizza on your birthday. You might get one more present, and that's it.
You might get a cupcake.
Let me just put this out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember being a kid, and my sister's birthday is 2 days before mine, even though I'm 5 years older. So after the age of 5, I had to share my birthday party
Bullshit.
with her. Yeah, what the fuck,
Right.
So whatever.
She's bitter.
No, I am.
I see it in her face.
I am, and I tell my sister the story every year on her birthday, and I always write it in her cards and anywhere I post anything about her birthday, because I clearly remember having to celebrate my 5th birthday early because my birthday was on a Monday. Okay, so we had the party the Saturday before.
Okay.
And it was at Fun Time Pizza.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. Fun Time
Y'all remember
Pizza.
that?
I do.
And
if you don't remember, she's too young for you. However the fuck that saying goes.
So I clearly remember, party just getting started, people showing up, presents at the end of the table, the cake's there, we haven't even gotten pizzas yet, and my mom was nowhere to be found, and I'm okay.
How did you get there?
Well, no, she was there with me, but I couldn't see her around the party table or whatever, and I'm still playing, I don't care. And, someone comes up to me and they said, your mom is having the baby, and so we gotta go. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, she's going into labor with your little brother or sister, because I don't know if they knew she was a girl, I don't remember.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. What does that mean for me, They're so we got to pack up and take everything home. And I remember I was like, this is horse shit,
She was like those kids on the Jimmy Kimmel videos.
Yeah,
fuck this.
I mean, I remember being pissed off, why can't anybody else stay with me at my goddamn party, So then, anyway, so I always remind her of that. But anywho, what I was getting to is that, so I had to share a party with my sister,
Mm-hmm.
And it was one birthday party. It wasn't we had, and it wasn't our pick. Where do you want to have your party? It was oh, if you have a party, you're gonna have it here,
Right.
nowadays, like, my kids are like Jordan, for example, because she's going to turn 7 soon in 2 weeks. And she's like, Mom, on my actual birthday, I just want to have, like, dinner and a cake. But I also want to have a party on the weekend and invite my friends. And I'm like, you know, and the fact that I'm entertaining her, that I'm like, okay, that sounds fine. And then I'm thinking about it like, you ungrateful little shit. Like, you want a dinner, you want 2 cakes.
2 cakes.
Because you got to have a cake for the dinner on the actual day.
And then the party.
Yes. And then, you know, like, any store we go to, she's like, well, I want this for my birthday, and I want this for my birthday. And I'm like, hey, you got to realize something, kid. You're a December baby.
Right.
They get screwed.
They do.
You know, they do. Well, maybe not her, because she's, like, so, you know, her and Quentin are a good 3 weeks before Christmas.
Fuck that. They still get screwed.
But, I mean, it just kind of sucks, you know, because, like, and I feel bad because we usually take her to San Antonio, and that's, like, takes place of her party, you know. Mm-hmm. But this year we have the baby, and so it's just, you know, we're going to do an actual party. But the fact that she's asking me, like, or not asking even, she's like telling demanding. Me, yeah, like, this is what I'm going to have. Right. Make it happen, bitch, you know. Right. So I just think that's crazy to me. Like, these kids these days.
That's what it is. And that was a very old person thing to say just now.
Yeah,
kids these days.
We're all like,
but it's true. It's true. It's kids these days they're ridiculous in their demands and their expectations. Spoiled. Yes.
And it's our fault.
It is.
But they are spoiled.
It is. But my question is, like, is it because we're trying to outdo our parents? A. Mm-hmm. Is it because maybe we're in a better financial state than our parents were?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or is it just, you know, you got to evolve with the times, and, like, presents to us, what was amazing won't fly nowadays.
Right. No. Mm-mm.
Like, if I got 2 or 3, you know,
action figures.
You know, Ninja Turtles or something.
Right.
I was like, I got 3 toys. Yeah. But, like, now, if I give that to Quentin, that's like a Saturday at Walmart. You know what I mean? Like
that, and see, that's what happens, is that every time they go to the store, they get something.
Right.
Even though I tell them when we walk in, you're not getting anything, you know? And then when come time for birthday and Christmas and stuff, you know, she's like, I want an iPhone 6. And I'm like, I don't even have an iPhone 6, and what do you need a phone for?
Right.
You know?
Like, who are you going to call?
Yeah, like, it's so weird.
It is. Yeah, it is. Have you seen, and I have a point for asking this, have you seen the video, it just came out 3-4 months ago, of, I think he's like an Italian kid who got
oh my God, yes.
the cutting board.
Yeah, and then
he wanted a tablet.
Got a tablet.
He wanted a tablet, and his parents wrapped up a small cutting
and he was,
board.
Like, crying and telling them thank you.
Yes, and he was so appreciative
grateful.
Because, I mean, he thought it was the tablet. He opened it up as a cutting board, and he's like, "Oh, I can help you cook," or whatever the fuck. And he's like hugging his mom, and and then they bust out the real one, and then he just flips out.
Yeah.
Like, I want that from Quentin, but I'm never gonna get that response from him. Mm-hmm. Like I think, like, I would literally die.
Well, you've seen the.
If I would literally die of acute overload if he was to do that.
Yeah, it won't happen.
But it won't happen because he's asking for a tablet for Christmas. I got him a tablet for Christmas. It's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. But I have that fucking kid from Italy ruined it for me because he's not gonna have the same reaction when he opens it.
No, what we did one time is Jaden, for his birthday, when he turned 5, maybe 6, he's 8 now, so I think it was when he turned 6, wanted an Xbox. And so Carla went and bought him the special edition, the R2-D2 Xbox, you know, like the Star Wars one, and it's the C-3PO control and whatever. Right. And this fucking kid, Carla's out of town, so I FaceTime him so he can see this, you know, what we think is going to be this awesome reaction. And he, like, unwraps it. He's like, oh, the Xbox I wanted.
That's right, bitch. You better get me that.
And I was like, yeah, what about it? And he's like, well, yeah, I got it. And and I said, well, are you excited? Are you surprised? He's like, no, because I asked for it.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, okay.
Right.
I mean, what?
I mean,
you know, my kid, my little one, he surprises me sometimes. But I think when it came down, I was telling Elisa, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of my son. When I asked him what he wanted, he said, well, whatever you want to bring me. And then I came down to it, and he was like, hey, like, where are all the presents? I'm like, Sky, you said whatever we wanted. Like, he was sitting there counting. I'm like,
humble, Mom.
I tried, Mom.
really working out for me.
It's like all those kids, like you were talking about the kid with the fucking cutting board or whatever. Like the Jimmy Kimmel videos where the little kids are opening like a potato and they're all like, fuck this! Like they're all pissed off. And they're like, Jimmy Kimmel told me to give you that. Fuck Jimmy Kimmel. Like they're all pissed off.
They're like 5.
Yeah.
That, what you were just saying about your kid opening the Xbox, like that reminds me of another video. It's a really old video. It's probably about 15 years old, of the Nintendo 64 kid. Have you seen him? It's the day, I guess the year that Nintendo 64 came out, and they were videotaping him. And he rips it open, and he just goes, "It's a Nintendo 64! Yes! Yes! Yes!" And like he's like fist pumping, and his little sister doesn't know what the fuck's happening, but she starts going, "Yes! Yes! Yes!" Like all excited. Like
I wish they
I
would
want that reaction, and I can't.
Christmas mornings at my house are nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's just my kids like opening next. Opening next.
Exactly.
Not like,
my kids are
thank
pretty
you.
good.
This is awesome. This is what I wanted. No, they're like I expect that shit's gonna be under the tree, bitch, because I put it on my list. You know.
Right.
No, my kids are pretty good. Especially like Emma when we got her the WWE tickets. I have a 6-year-old girly girl who loves baseball and loves wrestling, and she was really
She's
excited.
gonna be a fantastic wife.
Yeah, I don't know. She can't cook. I don't know. No, but she was really excited. Like, so excited at WWE. Like, when we were there, did I call you? I was calling somebody. I was crying because she was so happy. Like,
right. You were texting me the whole time.
Oh,
I was trying to watch you on TV.
Oh,
I recorded her. Yeah. I saw her.
Like, the happiest I've ever seen her. But
I just remember you telling me, "Hey, Roman Reigns."
Yeah, I know. I was like, "What's up, dude?"
I was like, "Dude, I told him."
He walked right by us. It was cool.
Well, did you smell his hair grease?
Dude, he was like really shiny, like Kim Kardashian in that fucking picture. That was him.
That picture's gross, by the way.
I love all the memes, like the one where they put her on the Keurig.
Right.
And then they did the
my
snow
gosh,
blower.
that was hilarious.
I love the Peter Griffin chin.
Where they like switch.
Right.
That is awesome.
Speaking of presents, real quick, were you guys peekers?
What?
Peekers.
What the hell is
present,
that?
like where you would rip a little corner and just kind of like look at them.
Oh, under the tree?
Under the tree.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would imply that your parents would put out the presents earlier, right?
Some of them.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Then they stopped
mine
because
would
they
too.
realized that there was 4 kids ripping the presents open.
They'll look all fucked up by Christmas morning.
Some of us were really good peekers, and my brothers were like tear off a side and like, oh, how did that happen?
Oh,
like
the
shove
dog
it
did it,
back.
yeah. Yeah, me too. I used to do that shit all the time.
The anticipation killed me.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember. I was like, my mom was really poor. Like, we didn't. I mean, I think we got stuff on Christmas, but it was never like.
Right.
Not anything that I can really remember. So now I like go all out. Like, it's obscene how many gifts.
I guess that's what I meant. Like you want to outdo.
For it.
Like the other day, cleaning my son's room, there was still a Christmas gift, a toy that hadn't even been opened.
Oh my god! Like, rewrap that shit.
I know, right? Give it back to him. I should. He probably wouldn't even remember.
I would.
Yeah.
We used to do that when Quentin would get presents, for his birthday, that he would get so many presents that like we would keep some closed and just like rewrap them for Christmas.
Absolutely.
Why not?
That's awesome.
He forgot that he opened it in the first place.
Yeah, but his birthday's in December.
Right, that makes sense.
Can't do that for March. Like,
save it.
I know. She's not
3
even
months later.
She's like not even into whatever it is anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we were talking about how you were saying like, do we try to one up our parents or whatever, and like being appreciative. I was talking to Ram yesterday about my mom, and I remember I was telling you like, okay, like I love Selena. Everybody who knows me knows I love Selena. I was telling him. I made him listen to like some Selena CD, like from the drive from the island all the way back, right? And like the whole time I'm like, listen to the song, listen to the lyrics. And
but then you change the song halfway.
No.
Wait, this song's better.
No. So I'm, that song, "Que Creías?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this is like the original that Beyonce to the left song. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about, right? And his Spanish isn't that great, so I'm like translating the song, right? And
it's more fun that way.
Huh?
It's more fun that way.
Yeah, so I'm translating the song for him, and he's like humoring me, like, oh, that's cool. Like, he's not going to be like, no, she's not Beyonce. That would be more like my brother.
Right.
My very gay brother. My brother was at the Beyonce concert calling me, like so I could listen to it or whatever.
Right.
And I was texting him, like, stop being such a stereotype. You don't have to fucking like Beyonce just because you're gay.
She is not the queen bee.
She's overrated. And I can just hear him, like, gasping on the other side. But I was telling Ram and I was telling Elisa the other day, like, I think all my deep-rooted issues with my mom are because she didn't take me to a Selena concert. She told me she was going to. But she told me she was going to take me to one.
Right. But then again, she didn't know that there was a shelf life on Selena.
Yeah, you didn't think a 23-year-old Selena was going to bite the dust.
I can forgive all the shit my mom's done to me. If I that would have been like, you did all this messed up shit, but you
at
took
least
me to the Selena concert,
yeah.
so we're cool.
Right.
Dude, when Selena died, I remember I got home from school, and how in elementary school there was already rumors circling that she had died is beyond me.
Right.
And who the hell had access to anything while we were at school?
I know, like.
But I got home, and I remember my parents sat me down and, like, told me about it like a member of my family died.
Right.
And I cried and cried like I knew her, you know? It was so sad.
That's how I was.
I remember walking to the library, and, like, the librarian was crying at my junior high. And, like...
Where did you go to?
At Travis.
Oh, okay.
Travis Junior High. And... she was crying, and she was talking to, like, a library assistant or someone, and she was saying, like, I can't believe Emilio Navaira's wife killed her.
That
was the rumor that Emilio Navaira's wife murdered Selena because they were having an affair.
I remember the kid who told me, and if you're listening, I fucking hate you. This little kid named Kenneth.
Fuck Kenneth.
He had, like, I hate that guy.
Sounds like a faggy name.
He had, like, gone to, like, I don't know, the office or something and overheard someone talking about it, so he comes back to class and is like, oh, I heard Selena died, like he didn't care.
Right.
But I cared. And I was like, what? No, like, this can't be. So I remember I remember being so sad. Like, the equivalent of Justin Bieber fans or One Direction little girls, like, that was me with Selena. And I remember, like, I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just wanted to be alone.
Right.
I was, like,
really
walking in the park at school and, like, the whatever by myself.
The
I just didn't
track.
want to talk to anyone. Yeah.
Right.
Like, crying my face off.
Wow.
Freaking
That was
Selena.
sad, dude.
I know.
That was.
She was the original, like, big booty.
The queen of Tejano.
Dude, I was telling my daughter, Emma, if you sing a Selena song at the talent show, like, I think I'll die of happiness. And she was like, okay.
Well, Mom, it's not going to happen, so don't worry.
No, she started singing the Baila Esta Cumbia. Like she kind of knows it, but not. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy.
That's fun. Yeah, I mean, our kids are extensions of ourselves, and anytime, like, I know the only time I ever talk about Quentin on Facebook is when he fucking impresses me with music or something like that. Like, he knows trivia like I know trivia, and he's just learning more and more and more, and it amazes me. So anytime he, like, drops something on me, like, you know, Dad, I want to hear Metallica. I'm like, really? Like, okay, which one? He's like, feels like a Fade to Black morning, and I'm like, yes, I love you.
I love it.
Amazing.
Like, you're my boy.
Yes.
That's my boy.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
I try to instill that in my kids too. Like, listen to good music, not just crap that you hear on the radio. Mind you, I love the crap. I do.
Right, you guys came in singing some crap right now.
Well, yeah, no, like churches or whatever.
Churches, chicken, but also that.
Yeah. So, my favorite band of all time is Incubus, and my kids can hear any Incubus song and right away can tell me, like, oh, that's Incubus, and it's a little before their time, so
right.
I'm happy about that.
Well, that's cool.
I listen to a lot of Ozzy's Boneyard, so they know a lot of old school rock from being in the car with Mom. And
That's
then
awesome.
when they're in the car with their dad, they listen to Faction and Jason Ellis. And Jason Ellis does nothing but cuss on that show and talk about skateboarding, or I don't know what the hell he does. So they know who Jason Ellis is too.
Okay.
Which is not my cup of tea, but whatever.
They'll be eclectic.
I guess so.
So that's cool.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy that we have kids.
It
I feel
is.
like I still act like a 17-year-old half the time.
I feel like I remember stuff that happened when we were 17, like it happened yesterday.
Yeah, like
I don't feel like that much time has passed, but it has.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
No,
like I don't live
agree.
in the now.
Well, it's
live in the now.
but it's like I feel young, and then I'm around actual 17-year-olds, and
I
you're
hate
like,
them.
yeah, no.
I can't stand
no,
it.
No, I'll see, like, if we ever go out, which is rare now, but when we used to,
even then, like, I would see girls walking around like, like, why are they wearing that? Like, so scandalous, you know? And I'm like, why am I saying that? It's horrible.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, her poor... Like, we'll be places, and I'm like, hi, her poor parents. Like,
because sooner than later, that's our kids out there.
dude, fuck
and
that. I don't even want to think about that.
Right.
I will tie them up in a closet and not let anything
You know, they have
happen.
chips for dogs. Like, do they have that for kids?
Mhm.
They should. They
The
should.
same concept.
You
Just
can
over
remove
their
it when
head.
you're 18.
Not even.
Just don't tell them it's
when
there.
you move out of my house.
Right.
I know. I'm like, I'm gonna start giving him a birth control just in case she doesn't tell me.
Right.
It's just vitamins. Just take these.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh my god! I didn't tell my mom. I
No?
wasn't like, hey mom. Yeah.
Oh, I did.
That you needed birth control?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
what age was this?
I was
22. Even though I had Jaden when I was 20. It was,
yeah.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Some years back.
I mean, I told my mom when it happened.
What do you mean?
Like when I,
What?
yeah, like when
You
I lost my
your V
virginity.
card?
You told your mom?
Yeah.
I think I did too.
What? Are you serious? Is
Yeah.
that common?
We were kind of tight back then. Now, not so much.
Well,
My mom thought she was like Amy Poehler, like the cool mom, you know?
well, I mean, I know your mom more than I know Edna's mom, so I mean,
they're
that
pretty
makes
much
sense.
one and the same, except one's the Mexican version and one's the white
Yeah,
version.
they're like yin and yang.
Yeah, they are. It's really weird.
Yeah, they are. Like, I never thought about it.
They're the same person, essentially.
Okay.
So, at that time, I think my mom was like trying to be like my friend in a sense, like, oh, tell me, you know, like to
Right.
try to get information out of me.
Hmm.
And then, so I would tell her things and then be like, oh, like, why did I tell my mom that? You know? And then all my friends, coincidentally, would be like, oh, you told your mom? Like, then they would go talk to my mom because they couldn't talk to their mom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, okay.
I thought your mom was really cool until she
That's-
locked us out of the house.
Yeah.
Why'd she lock you out of the house?
Because we would get home like at all hours of the night.
Like-
Which, you know, I think now, like, if that was my daughter, I would be fucking raising hell.
Oh, yeah.
I would be. We would sleep in her car. Like, we would go
Just until my
out.
mom would go to work, and then we knew she'd open the door, and we just like creep in, like, "Hey, see ya, good morning." It was she locked us out once. It was prom.
Yeah, it was. I think it was more than once because she had, like, after whatever time, I'm locking the
Dude,
door.
I think it was like a really fair curfew too. Like after
True.
3 or 2, like
Oh my
you
God.
guys need to come home. We get home at 4, like fucked it up, you know. Watches don't really go with these outfits.
Yeah.
My Nokia fell in the toilet, but it'll work tomorrow. So.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I'm still shocked that you guys told your parents or your mom.
You didn't tell your mom? I'm surprised you didn't
No.
tell your mom.
Dude, yeah,
She's
your
cool.
mom's like super cool.
Well, no, I didn't. I guess I was embarrassed about it.
Why?
Well, because it happened on a trip. Well, a family trip, sort of.
With your sister?
As long as she wasn't related to you, don't be embarrassed.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, Alyssa. I like you. That was I'm sorry.
No. We had gone. I guess we'd gone to the beach or something, and I took my girlfriend with me, and that's when it happened.
Mistake numero uno.
I know.
Where? Like, was your parents in the next room?
No. Like, okay.
Like
this
straight
is,
up standing in your crack on the beach for your first
No,
time?
no.
Oh,
No.
like, dude, that's hardcore.
Good for you.
No. My dad's an avid fisherman, so he
Right.
would rent like a beach, like a waterfront house over there,
Uh-huh.
like at the Arroyo City and shit. So that's where we went one weekend, and I took my girlfriend with me on the trip. And then one night, I think it was probably Saturday night, I said, let's drive to the beach, her and I. So I took the truck while my parents were fishing, and we drove to the beach. So it's what's like 20 minutes away or whatever. And it was side of the road.
In your car?
In the truck.
Oh my gosh, for the first time? That would have been awful.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's when it happened.
That's funny.
But no, I didn't. I don't think she's probably going to learn that by listening to this, actually.
Isn't it funny all the things your parents learn when you're an adult? They're like, what?
Right.
When did that happen? Or when did that happen?
See, now it's easier to talk to them.
Yeah.
I remember
for me, but I couldn't imagine being
you can't get in trouble.
Being a
Yeah.
4-year-old and telling your parents.
a 21-year-old.
Right.
Oh man.
You know, I was already married and
Right.
old enough, so it wasn't odd for me to tell her
Right,
at that point. I'm sure she assumed.
You're basically a Duggar. So you waited until you were just holding hands, Mom.
Not even allowed to hold hands. Those damn Duggars. What a sad life they lead.
I know.
God. No. Those people are creepy.
They are. I don't like them. I'm going to put it out on Front Street. I don't like them. I think they're creepy, and I don't think that it was the mom of all those kids.
And I think that she uses Aquanet.
Because
she has that 80s hair going to this day.
She
is.
for sure does.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
And why is the dad's name Jim Bob?
Jim Bob.
I don't know, dude. Ew.
They're all J's, right? They're all J's.
I think so.
Totally stealing my gig there.
I know. I was gonna say you stole her jig, dude. She has like 30 kids. I
Wow.
think she beat you.
At least for the last 8 years, okay?
Right.
Ooh.
God.
What are you doing? You run out of J names.
I don't know.
You're just making them up now.
Jaja.
But maybe that's you like recycle and you add a Bob to it.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like Julie Bob and Jordan Bob, Jaden Bob.
Now I know what to do.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Fuck. But I woke up at 5 this morning, and I couldn't get back to sleep because I started thinking about this interview about what we were going to talk about.
Okay.
I woke up
So-
at 7.
Just so you know,
Oh, 'cause of this.
y'all were on my minds at 5 a.m.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like we've just been talking about a lot of nonsense.
I know.
Well, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
That's what a podcast is.
Okay.
So it's cool.
No political conversation?
I don't want to start that.
Just kidding.
That's what my dad asked me yesterday. I said, "Yeah, Edna and Elisa coming over," and he goes, is she going to talk politics?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, I don't think
Is
so."
she going to fight with us about politics?
And I said it won't make for good, conversation because I tend to agree with most everything she says.
Mm-hmm.
You need someone who will like combat her.
Oh
Yeah.
God, there's plenty of those people on Facebook.
I
What's
know.
funny, though, is that she always shuts him up because they start fighting with her, and then she has a reaction to everything they're saying, and she has an answer to everything they're saying, and then they get
Right.
frustrated, like, oh.
You're really good at debating.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
at least on Facebook. I don't know how
I
you
was
would
on
do.
the debate team.
Were you?
Not really. I mean, I was, but I don't think I ever did an actual debate.
Well, you never went to school either.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that's
I did
cool.
They thought you died for like 2 weeks, I think. They had like a memorial service and everything, and then you
I
showed
know.
up one day like, "What's up, guys?"
I was putting
Dude,
together
but,
a
like,
package.
I have a friend who, I'd skip school and we'd go to like the museum, like rural.
Go
hoodlum.
learn shit. Let's go to the library.
I know.
Let's skip school and go learn something
status
else.
over here.
These damn teachers don't know what they're talking
Right.
about. Let's go teach ourselves.
That's right.
So cool. We did it. We
Yeah.
made time. We came.
Thank
we
you
pulled
very
through.
much. I appreciate it. I've been wanting this for a while, and now it finally happened. So.
Although I was
appreciate
never
it.
asked to be a co-host or anything.
Well,
so.
I knew you were pregnant and about to have the baby
Yeah,
as soon as.
So when you're pregnant, you can't talk.
No, you
have a
can't.
handicap.
You are. It is. It's kind of like a handicap.
A little
so.
bit. You get to park closer to Babies R Us at
Right.
least. But yeah, so fuck
But
you guys.
I appreciate.
Dude.
Thank you guys for making time.
Yeah. Awesome.
You guys are honestly,
It was fun.
It was.
honestly, two of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah.
Like for reals.
I know
Cool.
you guys are my fave.
Oh well.
Man.
But seriously, thank you guys for being on,
Yeah.
and I hope we can do this again.
I know it'll be
Soon.
fun. I was nervous.
What?
I don't know.
You did seem a little nervous.
What?
You were.
I'm
you
just
were,
gonna keep doing that.
You were. You were more comfortable. But
Yeah. What can I say? I'm a natural talker.
But again, thank you guys very
I
much.
had performance anxiety.
I really forgot how handsome John Travolta was in Urban Cowboy, but as
I know,
I'm
he was
staring
cute.
at that.
The little baby from Van Halen's cute too. This is what big here.
Oh yeah.
I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right,
Okay,
bye.
Bye.
Do you have to leave now?
You ain't got to go home, but you can get there.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. That's the conclusion of my talk with Edna and Elisa. And I hope over the last 2 weeks you guys have grown to love them as much as I do. And I'm definitely going to have them back on the air sometime later. It's just hard. It's hard to coordinate a time. As we stated, this one was recorded on a Sunday morning, was the only time that the three of us were available that, where possibly like their husbands or their, their moms or something were available to watch the kids. I didn't have Quentin that day. It's just one of those situations where, that was the only time that we had available, so we took advantage of it. And hey, we had a fucking blast. I'm not going to lie. We had a blast talking on a Sunday morning as if we were sitting on a Saturday night at some bar or something like that. The setting doesn't matter. The time doesn't matter. It's just the company that you keep. If you're in good company, like the party comes to you, basically. You can create a fun atmosphere anywhere, just if you got the right ingredients. And the three of us are definitely on the same wavelength, and we're definitely. I love these girls, as I've stated, and I'm very happy to have them in my life. So anyway, that's it for this edition of the Still Unnamed podcast. Coming up in the next few weeks, we've got our Christmas special to look forward to. Me and Mark are kind of getting some topics together to discuss and hopefully bring you guys a fun episode for Christmas that'll probably drop that Tuesday before Christmas. I've also got Patty, my little baby bro. Patty is it's hard to describe Patty. What she means to me. She's been one of my closest, friends that I've always been able to count on her, for the last 15 years or so, just about. And I've got Patty coming up, who's also been one of those, spirit guides for me for the last 15 years. Just a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff coming up. So anyway, that's all in the upcoming weeks. So for now, I just want to thank everybody for listening. Once again, subscribe to us on iTunes, subscribe to us on YouTube, whatever you want. Like this video, like this podcast, share it with your friends, let it go viral. Sharing is caring, all that shit. It's funny, like I mentioned it a few weeks ago, that there's a swing happening from YouTube viewers to iTunes, people transitioning into, standard, typical podcast, the old school version, if you will, just having it streamed directly to your phone or to your device. And it costs you nothing. It's free. It's absolutely free. We do this for you for free, just for shits and giggles. It costs you nothing, but I have seen those numbers rising, and it's pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing, some of the parts of the country that are listening to this on the reg, if you will, and I couldn't be happier. And I'm compiling some questions that I've been collecting, and maybe this next episode coming up, I'll address some of them. So anyway, I want to thank our sponsor, Chico's Bail Bonds, and once again, one more time, let me say it. Hey, everybody, have yourself a happy Taco Tuesday. Coffee. Bye-bye.